Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your chef from guruscooking.in with Besan Ke Laddu. Please make a note of the ingredients. I have a kadhai with me here and I'm cooking on a low flame, and at the beginning we add half a cup of desi ghee. You can also use dalda ghee, but I recommend desi ghee for this recipe. Crush 3 green cardamom and add them. After a minute, we will discard this cardamom because they have done their job. Their job was to infuse their aroma and flavor. Since that has been done, we have discarded them and thrown them away. Now we will add 2 cups of gram flour or besan. This whole recipe will be cooked at a very low flame. Now the moment you have added this, please use a laddle and stir it well. In the beginning, if lumps are formed, don't you worry. They will be gone after a couple of minutes. But the most important thing that you need to remember is you should never leave this place and go anywhere else. Just stay here and with your ladle keep stirring, keep sauteing and mixing it up. After 10 minutes, your recipe will look something like this. And the best test to find out if it is cooked or not is not by the color, because the besan will never inform you by the change of its color whether it is cooked or not. The simple test is you can ask your family members or friends sitting in the other rooms if they can smell the aroma of the besan which wafts through the air. If they can smell it, then it means your besan is cooked. Normally my advice is it takes around 10 to 12 minutes at a low flame for you to cook this besan. Now once they inform you, your family members, take a little water in your palm, very little, around 1 to 2 tablespoons, and just sprinkle it around. Why do we do this? Just to create a few thick granular cubes of this besan. Now once it is cooked for 12 minutes around, you can put off the flame, and now we will gather it in a bowl or in a plate. It is pretty hot right now. What is our job? You might be wondering, we did not add anything sweet to this. We will do it in a short while. Now, what is our purpose? Our purpose is to make sure that we wait until this besan cools down. But at the same time, it should not cool down too much. I'll tell you why. If it is too hot and you add the sugar now, the sugar will melt and this will become too liquidy. We don't want that. If it is too cold and if you add the sugar will simply not melt at all. You don't want that either. So you want this to be in between hot and cold. It should be medium hot. So once it is medium hot, that takes around 10 minutes to cool down. You add granulated sugar, which is 3/4 cup of it, and now mix up everything pretty well using a spoon. As you can observe, not only is the sugar melting and incorporating well into the besan, but we also made sure through this trick that the besan is not leaving or releasing any liquid or moisture content. Henceforth, we'll be able to make some firm, beautiful laddus. Once you mix up everything, we'll use our hands to crush any lumps that have been formed. Remember, this basin is slightly warm right now, so make sure when it is slightly cool, you try to make these laddus. If it cools down too much or it comes to the room temperature, you will not be able to make laddus. So take a little handful of this mixture in your hand and try to use it by using your palms and fingers, rotating it evenly. Once it is done, your laddus are ready and prepared. This is how they look. Let's do it for all of them. Please make a note of the cooking instructions. From my experience, I can tell you the most important thing in this whole recipe which you need to be concerned about is the quantity of items that you use. The ghee is 1/4 the quantity of the besan. Remember that. Otherwise you can mess up your whole recipe. This is where people usually go wrong. So for half a cup of ghee, 2 cups of besan. For 1 cup of ghee, 4 cups of besan. I hope that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience and your time, and enjoy this recipe, Besan Ke Laddu, with your family and friends. May I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And you can look at the other recipes as well, gulab jamun and suji ka halwa. Enjoy!